Well, hi. I'm very excited to paint today. I've got this number 6 brush, putting it into the sky color, beautiful deep blue, and we'll just jump right on in here. This is a painting inspired by Monument Valley. And before we started today, I covered the entire canvas with a thin, even coat of burnt sienna mixed with odorless paint thinner. And then I made a little sketch with more of that burnt sienna. And today I'm going to be referencing this little drawing that I made earlier. It's not pretty, but it's just a little value map to know how dark areas should be. And then I went to my local hardware store and I got these little colors for free. And I liked them. I liked all these colors together. I thought they were pretty. So that's what we'll be referencing today. And by the end, we'll have this big, beautiful painting in just a few hours. And this is a 30 by 40 inch canvas. Now, as I'm applying this paint, I really want to do thick paint today. Every painting I do, I just feel like the style just kind of is dictated by the subject. And so I try not to do the same style every time. There's not a Thomas Winsor style, I don't think. But I am just going to do what I feel like. And every time I paint, that's important for me, to stay true to what I want. Now, today we're going to do the whole blue sky first, and then we'll work on the clouds. And the clouds are going to have a lot of different colors and values in them, different shades. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, as I'm going up to this cloud sketch, I'm not overlapping it. And when I do the clouds, I'm not going to blend it right away. I'm going to take it section by section, color by color. That's important for me. And at the top here of the sky, this is going to be the darkest part of the sky. And a dark blue sky really helps these bright clouds really be bright. And if this blue sky was too light, it wouldn't have the same effect. So the top of the sky is going to be the darkest, and as we work down, we're going to get lighter and lighter. There. I really like that. In this corner, I want a little bit lighter in this corner as well. There. Every which way, no logic to my brush work, just any way I want. Just getting this paint on the canvas. Now this is a larger canvas than I've done previously. And man, I just love large paintings. I think there's two kinds of artists, and they're both very valid. We need both of them. They're both very, very important. One kind of artist likes to sit and use a magnifying glass and get in close with detail. And another kind of artist likes to move their arm like this, and that's what I like to do. I like a lot of energy and movement. For me, painting is kind of like an emotional performance. I do make a plan, and I am prepared, and I've practiced and gotten ready for a painting, but ultimately, I feel like where I am emotionally, where I am in my headspace, really makes a difference for me. Really does. And a lot of times, painting, the act of painting itself gets me into the headspace that I want to be in. And that's one of the reasons why I paint. We're going to lighten this up just a touch from corner to corner. So I'm going to take this titanium white and I'm going to mix it in here. Just make this a little bit lighter. Nice. Man, I love everything about oil paint. Oil paint is different than acrylics and other paints because it takes a long time to dry. So you're applying, and this is the alla prima method. So I'm applying wet paint on wet paint, and none of it's dry the whole time. And it really helps me blend colors very nicely on the canvas. All right. And we're just going to come in here with this a little bit lighter color. Nice. This whole top part. Lots of paint. Lots and lots of paint. I love some of my paintings I use less. But this one, I just want to use more. I want this sky to be just completely covering the canvas with a lot of paint. Don't ask me why. Painting for me is emotional. It's this gut thing, intuition. There isn't logic. Logic is for accounting, planning. Painting doesn't have to be logical. It's emotional. It really gets us as humans. When I see some paintings, I am moved, and I don't know why. And it's kind of like another language. We use words to communicate. That's great. But sometimes we can't communicate things with just our words. And choosing the proper medium to communicate the emotion is important. And I love painting nature. Painting nature is important for me because I think that a beautiful nature painting or a good painting of nature requires two things: a corner of nature, something the earth has provided, and my unique perspective, or the artist's unique perspective. And every artist has a unique perspective. They can't help it. They were born with a unique perspective. We can't help it. When you apply your unique perspective to your art and celebrate nature, beautiful things will happen. It's very special. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm celebrating nature. I'm loving it. When you love something, you just want to look at it. You care about it. You spend time looking at it. You admire it. Like when you get a new pair of shoes, a new car, a new house. You just look at it from a distance. You love looking at it. You step back and you keep looking at it because you love it. Paint what you love. Paint what makes you happy. How do you know what makes you happy? Well, you got to listen. And sometimes it's not a jolt. Sometimes it's a little voice that says, ooh, I like that. I want to do more of that in my life. Doesn't matter what it is, painting, whatever. There's a little voice that we all have. It's very special. It's unique for each of us. And that voice, for me, is freedom. Freedom can be scary, though. Freedom isn't always comfortable for us. Many of us say, oh, I want to be free. I want to be free. No. I think many people don't want to be free in many senses in their life, in many areas, because freedom comes with fear for many people. It comes with your own responsibility to take what you're doing and own it, to own your decision. Why did you do that painting? Why did you do it that way? Well, I learned, I copied this artist or that one. That's not freedom. Freedom is saying, this is what I wanted, and I know it's what I wanted. And you have to stand by your work, and it's vulnerable. Freedom requires vulnerability. And criticism. You have to be open to it. As an artist, you have to be open. Someone will say, oh, I don't like that. You say, okay, that's fine. I do. I do like it. That's okay if you don't, but I do. Confidence, fearlessness, freedom. That's what art is for me. It's a way for me to express myself, to be who I truly am. You know, I think I knew who I truly was when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I had it all figured out. That was a wonderful time for me. And then as I got older, I just fell for this illusion of conformity, trying to fit in. And it took me all these years to figure out who I truly am. Again, remembering that. All right, let's work down here. I want to add a little bit of this sky color here. It's poking through. Now, this sketch is informative for me. It accomplishes two things. Where do I put things? And where does my brush move? See these brush strokes? That informs me where to move my brush. That's important. Now, as the sky goes down lower and lower, it's going to get lighter and lighter. That's what happens in nature. Atmospheric perspective. As things get farther away from us, there's not as much contrast, not as much detail, and we can emphasize that in painting. We can exaggerate it so that when people see the art, they can see a sense of dimensionality. That's fun. It's fun to mimic that from nature. All right. Good, good, good. All right, working down, as we come lower, I want the sky to have a tinge, just a small amount of yellow. I want it to be a little bit turquoise coming down here. So I'm going to take some of this yellow and add it to this. Ooh, I need some more titanium white. Oh, it's right here. When you're painting, you go through a lot of titanium white. I'm telling you, I'm going to put it over here now. You go through a lot of white. Be prepared. Buy extra white. Buy a big tube of it. You need a lot of white. All right. Placing that right here. Maybe a little bit more yellow. Nice. Some of this blue. Grabbing some of this color over here. Mixing it all together. Just having fun. We're having a fun time. More of this yellow. All right, let's place this sky in. Ooh, I like that. Below these clouds, lower to the horizon. Just covering the entire canvas. Just a lot of paint. Nice. A vibrant blue, beautiful sky. I went to Monument Valley when I was a teenager one time. Man, I loved it. I felt like I was in a Western movie. It's become so iconic in so many films, The Searchers, etc. Man, pretty special location. There are so many unique, special locations in nature. We need to appreciate them. We need to care about them, think about them more. They're valuable. You know, so many times in our lives we think money is valuable. Well, it's not. We think our accomplishments are so valuable. No. Nature is, though. There. Right up to this sketch. Right up. Ooh, there's going to be some clouds here. We'll go around those. Nice. Just the same color throughout. And we'll sneak a little bit of it up here. Blend that. Very pretty. A lot of paint. Can't say that enough. All the way down to this horizon here. A little bit more white for the horizon. There. I've noticed the sky does this. I'm from Arizona, and in the desert, the sky tends to become a little bit turquoise towards the horizon. It's a beautiful thing. There. All the way up to the edge, coming off the edge a little bit. Every which way, remember. Ooh, you know what? Actually, coming up here, I want my brush strokes to kind of wisp up, like the wind is going up here. There. And then be more horizontal over here, but then wisp up higher and higher. Like that. When we're painting, we need to be confident. We need to be confident. When we're done painting, we can see all the ways that we need to improve. But when we're painting, let's be confident. After all, you are the artist. You chose to paint this for a reason. Nice. Very, very pretty. Even lighter towards the horizon here. Man, I love this. I love painting these big skies. If you're like me, if you're a painter, you'll understand painting just is unlike anything else. It's a very special time. Really sparks the imagination. Grounds me. It grounds me. It really does. It's real. It's tangible. It's happening. And I really appreciate that. There. All right, we'll work on the sky a little bit more, but now we'll work on these clouds. And when we do these clouds, I want to start with the darkest part of the clouds. And then we'll work lighter and lighter, and then we'll come down here. All right, let's mix up some of this shadowy sky color in the clouds. I'm going to start with some white, a little bit of blue, a little bit of burnt umber. Now, on this painting show, this is my therapy session. This is when I can really just turn off my mind and access a deeper part of myself that gives myself some good life advice. It helps me. And so, if I talk about random stuff, sorry, this is my therapy session. And you're along for the ride. It's fun though. And by the end of this, we're going to have a beautiful painting. It's fun to watch a creative process, to see a creative person work. I love watching people paint. Ooh, some red to that, to dull it down. A little bit of orange. Nice. A little bit more purple. It's a pretty color. I'm going to start with the darkest part of the clouds. Really want to make sure it's dark enough. That's important. Not too saturated. Maybe a little bit more of this red. I like that. Now I use this palette knife to mix up my colors. Sometimes I'm lazy and I use my brush, and that's fine. All right, the darkest part of the clouds, where all the rain is hanging out. It's just hanging out in this cloud, following these brush strokes, the reference that I made earlier. Nice. I want these graphic distinctions between the light and the dark. I really like that. Bringing this all the way through here, right up against this blue. There. Just having fun with it. Moving my brush like a cloud, thinking cloud thoughts. Why not? Painting is therapy, like I said, for me. Man, it occupies my mind so I can really dig into this deep emotional well. And I have realizations about life that help me. I like it. The reason why we made this show is because I was painting and I was talking to myself just naturally. Helps me think. And I thought, wow, maybe the folks at home would like to see this. Maybe. This isn't for everybody, though. Painting isn't for everybody. We all have different interests. We all like different things. You don't need to like what I like. Goodness gracious, no. If everyone was the same, the world would be very boring. We can find our own path. We can find our own way. You know, I don't think we're told that enough. I wasn't, at least. I was not told that enough in school growing up. Hey, find your own way of doing things. Be uniquely you. I did not hear that very often. Maybe from Mr. Rogers. Man, I liked that. All right. Good old Mr. Rogers. I like having good influences in my life. You know, someone I can look up to. But at the same time, I've really learned not to take anything people say as the truth. Oh, I'll just assume they're right. No. No. I listen, I learn, but I don't automatically need to come to a decision. And I think that's important. In life, we don't always have to think, oh, whose side am I on? Oh, I agree with that. I don't agree with that. We can be a little bit more open. We can be more open. And I think that's where peace comes from. I think peace is more of a perspective than anything else. A deep, abiding peace in your heart, in your soul. I think it comes from being able to hold the happy and the sad, the joy and the sorrow of life at the same time. Two competing ideas held in our heart creates an equilibrium, a peace. And when we fall for the play of life, and when we think there are clearly evil people and clearly good people and clearly good ideas and clearly evil ideas, we're not seeing clearly. Life isn't that easy. It's a little more complicated than that. Just like a painting. There's light and dark. Lots of different colors relating to each other. Oh, I want this part to be shadowy right through here. I like that. All right. Coming through here along the bottom, just along this sketch. Not going right up to the sky. We'll blend it later. We don't need to go right up to it. Don't need these paints to mix right now. Just scrubbing it on. Just kind of feeling my way through this. Thinking what I want to do. Ooh, I want this to be darker. I like that. Through here. Good. Man, I love clouds like this. Very familiar to me. I love looking at clouds. Clouds are free. Clouds just go where they want to do. They watch over us. They're an example of freedom. Clouds are very free little guys. They go wherever they please. Yeah. But again, that idea of freedom, personal, emotional freedom, a freedom to have your own perspective, comes with responsibility. Comes with some responsibility. And that can be frightening. Sure can be. Has been for me in many areas of my life. But at least with painting, I can have that just personal freedom. Oh, you don't like my painting? That's okay. I do. And I know I do. Not a question in my mind. I like it. All right. Maybe through here. Getting these dark areas in first. You know, art really helps us to understand and process the foreground and the background. Humans tend to prioritize things that are in the foreground and moving, things that are colorful and shiny, things that can do things for us, things in our life that can give us something, like money. What can you do for me? I'll notice that. I'll notice things that can do something for me, improve my situation, and I'll ignore the things that don't. And for a period of my life, I was like that. I remember for a long time in my life, when I was driving down the street, I would see the stoplights and the strip malls and the Taco Bells. I would see the things that gave me something. But I ignored, for many years, those innocent, beautiful things all around us. Trees, clouds. And as soon as I started noticing those things again, my life improved. Really did. Really improved. All right. I'm really liking this. Let's add a little bit of white. Lighten it up a touch. A little bit of purple. Love some purple. It implies distance in a painting. That's always nice. All right, with this lighter color for these farther away clouds, we're doing the shadows here just a little bit lighter. Just a little bit lighter. A little bit more white there. Nice. Thinking about the shape. Now, when I'm doing this sketch, it's a value map for me. I put distinct lines where different values will be placed. And it's also important to remember with painting that you can put a light color over a darker color. It kind of works. But if you try to put a darker color over a lighter color, the oil paint doesn't like that. It doesn't enjoy being treated that way. It doesn't like it. We do what the oil wants, what the paint wants. We listen to it. We care about it. It wants certain things. It wants to be applied a certain way. I've said it before, painting is a collaboration between you and this earthly material, this oil paint. As you work with it and embrace it instead of working against it, we can really accomplish some amazing things. Now, this style of painting that I do is Impressionism, pretty much. Impressionistic work. I've always enjoyed works by Monet and post-impressionists like Van Gogh. A special time in art history for me. I was always attracted to that. Whatever kind of painting style you're attracted to, or if you want to come up with your own painting style, that's important. Do what makes you happy with painting. Don't follow the crowd. Be distinctly you. Take what makes you special and use it. Use it. Embrace it. All right. Very good. I'm not being careful with my brush. Not being timid. Just making big, confident marks. Going with it. Making it work. Heck. All right. All right, a lighter color now. Let's mix up. Ooh, I need more white again. Like I said, we're going to use a lot of white with this painting. That is to be expected. Let's take some of this blue color that we had earlier. Mix it with this white. Brighten it up. There. Now, let's add a little bit of orange. I love orange and white for these highlights. It's very pretty. I want to take this color and place it through here. A little bit lighter shadows. Not quite as intense, not quite as dark. Man, I love doing these big paintings. Love it. It's a lot of fun. It's very enjoyable. Big skies. Painting for me helps me see the world in a positive way. When I see the world, I think of it like paintings. And I love that. You know, I went to a museum recently. And I've got to say, a museum is just a fancy frame for me. That's all it is. It says, this art is important. Pay attention. It's in a big building made out of bricks. So this painting must be good. You need to enjoy this artwork because professionals appreciate it. And it's been written about. And people in the art community have decided that this work is worthy of being in a museum. Goodness me. I've been thinking about that lately. In many ways, I think that museums, I love a fancy frame. A frame says, this is special. A pedestal. Putting something on a pedestal and saying, this is special. This is worth something. A frame around a painting does say something. It says, somebody cared enough about this to put a frame around it. All right, I want to start on a little bit of these lighter areas. That'll be fun for us. Let's take all this white, mix it with a little bit of this previous color. Nice. And some yellow. Not too much. Ooh. That's pretty. Ooh, I'm really liking this. All right, these lighter colors we can just glob on. The brighter the color, the heavier the paint. It just looks good that way. Just looks good. Following these shapes is very important. Don't just put the paint on willy-nilly. Think about the shape of the thing. Even if it's the same color in that area, that's okay. Just think about the shape. And these brush strokes will imply shape. It will imply certain things. Now, mixing this white and the blue, I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to go right up to the blue, but not touching it. Not touching it. There. Following the contours of the clouds here with a lot of paint. There. Liking this a lot. Coming through here. What does the paint want to do? I encourage each of you to paint. Everybody. Please don't dare think for a second that painting is reserved for other people, but not you. You have every right to paint, just as much as Leonardo da Vinci. I mean that. There aren't people out there more special than you. We say there are. We claim there are. We put them in history books, and so we think they are. They're not. Those are just human ideas. They're not real. That's not reality. Those are just ideas. We have so many ideas. So many fun human ideas that we cling to all the time. Time is one of them. It's so relative. So relative. We live for 100 years or so. You know, humans, we don't live forever. And so that's kind of the basis of how we understand time. A human lifespan. And so we think, oh, mountains have been around so long in comparison to humans. Everything is compared to other things. It's always a comparison. In comparison to this or that. That's just relative, though. It's not truth. It's just words, people's ideas. Ooh, I need more white again. Loving this. This is a lot of fun. Very pretty, fluffy clouds. Very, very fun. More of this white. More orange. More yellow. Nice. A little bit more white. Oh, I love this. All right. A little of this, a little of that. Big strokes, little strokes, all sorts of strokes. Any kind of stroke you want, but vary it. Don't do the same strokes all the time. You know, keep them guessing. Quick, short, all sorts of strokes. Nice. Man, I love paintings of the Southwest. It's all about perspective. We see an artist's work and we say, wow, what a wonderful way of seeing the world. And then we begin to see the world that way. Art can really help us appreciate nature to such a wonderful degree. Helps us see it. Not just looking at art, but making art. It makes it, we're participating in nature that way. It's a participation. Coming down here, some of these clouds, a little bit lighter because they're farther away. Nice. Big strokes here. And through here. You know, when you're painting too, you got to be patient. You got to have patience. Because there's a period of time when you're painting where it doesn't look so good. It doesn't look so good at first. That's okay. Forgot to tell you these colors that I'm using today. Prussian blue, this beautiful purple, burnt umber, titanium white, cad, red, yellow, and orange, and sap green and yellow ochre. You know, when I first started painting, I used so many colors. But as the years have gone by, I've kind of used less and less. I've found my trusty friends, my trusty collaborators that I enjoy using. And each artist can find their favorite colors, their favorite way of doing things, their favorite method. All of them are legitimate. All of them. Someone will tell you, well, that's not quite the right way. Hey, if you enjoy it, if you like what you're doing, then keep on doing it. That's okay. You can keep doing what you want to do. You don't need to listen to anybody. There's too much of that in the art world. Well, you're supposed to do it this way. This way is best for these reasons. I'm doing that voice today. It's my voice of authority. We know that this is the right way to do something, so you need to do it that way. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. What? Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, big man. I'm going to do things the way I want to. All right, now a little bit of this lighter purple color down here at the bottom. Right through here, the dark side of this cloud. Nice. Ooh, I like that lighter color. It really shows up against this darker. We can kind of shape it. Nice. Now through here, some of this lighter color. Let's add the smallest amount of green. Just a small amount. There. I like sometimes putting green by purple because it exaggerates the two colors. They get along well. They're friends. And once we go over enough of this sky, we'll start blending and adding more highlights. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But you got to do this work first. You know? You got to put down some of the darker colors first. Nice. Thinking about clouds, thinking about how they move, floating in the sky. There's so many wonderful things for us to appreciate in nature. They're all around us. It's just great. Just great. And as I say, remember, you aren't separate from nature. You are nature too. We're so hard on ourselves. We think, oh, I'm broken. Oh, what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. You're perfect. You literally are perfect. Your nature's perfect. You are too. Oh, but I want my life to be better. Well, you can work on that. That's part of nature too. Of course, nature wants you to have your life be better too. Wants you to improve. But you don't need to feel bad about it. That's just something that comes from our culture, from the people around us. So many times I feel so separate from our time, from what's going on in the world. But I'm not separate from it. I'm tied to it. I'm here right now. I'm alive. This is my time. This is our time. Let's make the world the way we want it to be. And if we can't change the whole world, we can try to make our world, our little world, be the way we want it to be. We can improve our lives and just continue. All right. Nice. I like that. All these little parts. Fun little parts. Right. All right. I need more white here again. I'm going to clean up my palette just slightly. I've just been so messy today. Just got to have some room. You know, there's a lot of people who say, oh, do your palette this way, do it that way. You know, just have some room to work. This isn't a factory. Do what you want to do. But if your method isn't working for you, then examine it. Figure out a way of painting that works for you. I'm not a perfectionist. I like things messy. All right, let's get this white down. Fun. Make a slightly lighter, bright color. There. That's really going to shine. Now we bring it up here to where the sun is really hitting. Go along these edges a little bit. I want this painting to be more representational instead of realistic. I just kind of like that idea. I've been looking at a lot of Japanese woodblock art. I'm just blown away with it lately. And I haven't had that happen to me for a long time, since I discovered Van Gogh. Really read, his letters to Theo and studied his art. I got so obsessed with Van Gogh, but man, now I'm becoming obsessed with woodblock art. It is the greatest art I've ever seen. It moves me in such a way. Never felt those feelings before. It makes me see the world in a better way too. Look it up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Japanese woodblock landscape art. Special stuff. Just trying to pay homage to that style a little teeny bit. Not too much here, but just some. All right. Every time I step in front of the canvas, I'm a new person. Why do my paintings have to be the same every time? They don't need to be. They can be different. They can be different, and that's okay. Ooh, the sun's really hitting here. Right through here. Yeah, I think a lot of painters, they become factories. Oh, people like this, therefore I need to keep doing it. But I get it, you want to make a living. You want to make a living. But I really don't want to fall for that trap. I never want to fall for it. I want to do what I want to do. Painting is about me having fun, not the money. I'll starve if I need to keep painting. Pay for paints before food. But I'll paint what I want to paint. Nice. A little bit of this blue. I'm going to mix that with some white. I want to work in a little bit of this blue down here. Tinge of purple. Nice at the bottom of these. Kind of make some distinct areas. Sometimes I twirl my brush like this. Kind of every which way. I do a lot of different kinds of marks. Whatever I feel like doing at the moment. And I enjoy that style, the kind of sporadic, different marks. That's fun. You know, we don't need to fall into things in our lives for so many years that rob us of the joy that we once had in life. We don't need that. That happens to a lot of people. 20 years goes by. I didn't like this. You didn't? No, I didn't like my career. I didn't like any of it. I didn't know you could like your job. Yes, you can. You can love your job. You can love what you do. It's possible. Go for it. That idea you've had, that thing you've wanted to do, go for it. Go for it. Doesn't work out, do the next thing. Never give up. Be who you need to be. Death doesn't just happen at the end of your life. It can happen in the middle. It can happen early on. And you keep on living, but you're dead inside. I know, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not making this up. I'm not reading books about this. I'm telling you how I feel about it. I'm telling you. You can love what you do. You don't have to give up that little child inside of you. Every person is going to be born with things that they like that's unique, that society needs. And as you follow your bliss, as Joseph Campbell would say, you will find true meaning and your life will begin to move. It will begin to have motion. You ever feel like your life is just stuck? Like nothing's happening? Man, it's been so many years and nothing's happening. Well, guess what? When you follow that little voice in your head, that little 12-year-old in you that knew what you wanted to do, when you follow that one, that voice, not society's voice, that special voice, doors will open. Paths will emerge. You won't believe the opportunities that will come. Fall into your lap as you follow what you should do. Nature wants to help you with it. But when you're not cooperating, nature's like, ooh, I can't help this guy out. I can't help that one out. Mm-mm. Yeah, when we do what we love, life becomes just great. And we should be grateful for it. It's a luxury in some senses. I mean, some people are in circumstances where they can't. They don't have time. It's tough for them. But we can make some time. We can start small. You know? We don't have to do everything right away. We can set small goals. We can improve our lives slowly. We can try, at least have hope. One of my favorite movies is Shawshank Redemption. Holy cow. Shawshank Redemption. A movie about hope. Get busy living or get busy dying. What a great, great movie. What a message. What a wonderful message. Don't lose hope. Don't lose that hope. Man, this is fun. You know, this is different than anything I've ever done. This is uncharted territory. I'm not teaching you a method. I'm not showing you how I usually paint. This is just fun. It's almost like I'm discovering this new style that I like. I love these kinds of clouds. Is this fun? Man, just delightful. Very, very, very imaginative and pretty. Not realistic, but I love these motions and all these little guys, these little puffy clouds. Very fun. More yellow. Nice. More white. More orange. There. A little bit more. There. Coming in some of these darker areas. This gives some dimension as well. Very unexpected. I did not expect to start doing this style, and I'm loving it. Painting is discovery, right? It's not telling it what you want, it's discovering what it wants. And painting like this, you can pick it up. You can do it. Please. You can do it. If you're seeing me and you think, wow, I kind of want to do that, I hope you do it. I hope you do it. Go to the store, get some paints. Start any way you want. Watch some YouTube videos. They'll instruct you. They'll show you what to buy and all that stuff. You can just start having fun. Just fantastic. Some parts of the canvas I intentionally leave bare. You can kind of see the sketch through it. That's fun. I want to show you how it was done. I want to not hide what I'm doing. Just kind of embrace it. Hey, look, here's part of the sketch, the underpainting here and there. Isn't that fun? Nice. And here, let's make this guy. Right on the edge of the canvas. Now here we can imply some shape to that one. Well, I'm really loving this. We need to keep working though. We need to work our way down. I want to work on these rock formations. But we just are working down here, so let's mix up some light purple. All right, let's put this purple right here at the base. Ooh, I love how saturated and bright that is. That's very nice. Okay, let's bring that color over here a little bit. Nice. I think I want these to go that way. Oh, that's great. Kind of fading into nothing down here. Really blend it out. Brighten that up. There. Just some distant clouds. Some sideways strokes once in a while, you know, especially down here. There. Southwest. Impressions of the Southwest. I don't know what I should call this. Give me a suggestion. If you have a name for this painting, tell me whatever you want to say. What should I name this painting? Tell me what to name it. I'd love some suggestions. That's hard for me to name something. I'd love to just have everything I do untitled. I don't know. All right. You know, because a name is another medium. A name is a second medium applied. So it sort of contaminates the art a little bit. Imagine a world without speech, without written language. A name already anchors you into a certain mindset. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to see. But in reality, you know, these trees in nature, these mountains, they don't have names. It doesn't know. A rose bush doesn't know it's called a rose bush. Doesn't care. It's going to do what it wants to do. Nature's a lot bigger than language. Little ideas that humans have. We haven't scratched the surface. We think we're so smart. Humans have figured it all out. No. We're figuring it out, guys. We don't have all the answers yet. I don't know if we ever will. But art provides some of those. Some of those answers for me. It gives me some perspective beyond words. And as soon as you can start grasping that, your art, you'll be an artist. You'll be thinking like an artist. All right. Through here, some of these highlights. Nice. Big strokes through here. Make this swirling motion. Nice. Very fun. Blending some select areas. I don't want to blend everything. But I also don't want too harsh of lines to kind of imply some distance because these clouds are really far. So, wiping off my brush almost every stroke. I'm not liking this area. I want it brighter. I'm going to add more white. You know what? I want to add a little bit of pink to this. I want a pink white. I think that'll really help. So, let's bring this over. But let's bring it all over. But let's add a little bit of red. Pink it up. What the heck? A little pinker. Ah, there we go. Pink white. Beautiful. See, we can take areas that we don't like and we can just turn them into areas we do. Just like that. We know what we want. We know what we like to see. Ooh, some pink. Just beautiful pink. Very subtle though, you know? These clouds are subtle. Subtly pink, subtly orange. It's not just white. I don't know all the technical terms for these colors, but each one of them is different and it accomplishes a different thing. Not a thing that can be expressed with words. Something beyond that. All right. Some dimensionality to these little guys. And that. There. Very, very pretty. And right through here, I want to just have some sideways strokes. All right. If you haven't read Van Gogh's letters to his brother Theo, read them. Read them. Van Gogh. What an exceptional character. Phew. What a perspective. When you read what he wrote, this guy was brilliant. He was brilliant. He was tortured, but he was brilliant. Wonderfully brilliant. When I read his work, I feel like he's speaking directly to me. I really do. I understand. I think, wow, I understand that. I understand that. All right. I'm here to encourage you to paint. That's what I'm here for. You can do it. You can do it. Sometimes it's embarrassing for me. Not deep down, but on a social level, I think, well, you know, a painter, being a creative painter isn't that important, is it? I'm not making anything important. But then I think, well, you know what? I'm doing what I deep down want to do. Not what society, not what my parents, not what people who've known me want me to do. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm taking responsibility for it. It's not always going to go right. Just because you're doing what you want to do most of the time in your life doesn't mean every single part of your life goes better. Every single one. But, man, painting is a free place for me. Free place. I also love music, though. Love music. Music is special. All of these wonderful ways we have of expressing ourselves. Different ways. So glad they've all been discovered by other people. Distant times they discovered different sorts of music, art. We all benefit from all those years of discovery, from all those creative people who took a chance. You can do that too. You can take a chance and do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Not what makes your parents happy. Do what makes you happy. But some people say, well, I don't know. I don't know. What do I want? Some people have never asked themselves that question. What do I actually want? When you start asking that, sometimes you don't have the answer at first. You don't know. I think it's through action that we truly discover what we like. It's not so much a thought as something we do, and we discover it through action. All right, let's clean up this palette. We might use some of these colors later. Make some room to have some fun with this desert landscape. It's going to be some bright orange colors, some deep purples, a lot of contrast, a lot of life. It's going to make these clouds really work. Because right now I step back and I think, I don't quite like it. because there's nothing below the clouds. But it'll look nice soon. Yeah, it'll look nice soon. All right, let's start with some purple and some white. Nice. Some burnt umber. A little bit of blue. And a little bit of green. A little more green. Green makes the purple not as saturated, because when things are far away, we don't want it to be super saturated. We want the color to be a little more dull, a little more subdued. Nice. All right, paying attention to these brush strokes, the angle. Let's lay this in. You know, I don't want to do it too thick at first, because we're going to put some more marks over this. We're just going to fill in this area. You know what? Let's do that. Change my mind. Fill in that whole area with this beautiful distant purple color. And then as we get closer here, these shadows are going to be a lot darker. Going right up to that blue, but not overlapping quite yet. Coming this way. And this ridge is getting farther away, so I want to add a little bit more white as we go along to part of this. A little more blue too. There. As it goes away into the distance. Very pretty. Nice. Now I want to show off a little bit of this orange, but it's got to be so subtle. Very subtle. All right, so this is kind of a sunlit area way back here. I want to start showing this contrast off early in every stage, coming closer to us. More of this purple, kind of like that. Good, good. A little bit of blue through here. That'll be fun. Mix it with this purple. I want to brighten that up a little bit. There. Good. Now we're doing this directional brush stroke thing. More purple, burnt umber, some white mixed in, some of that. What the heck? All right, a little more purple. Kind of showing off what's happening. Way back here. Very subtle. Very, very subtle. All right. I want to scrub this and really make it just kind of disappear. I want this to, no hard edges on the land here. Kind of shape this mountain every which way, coming down. And back here. Blend this into oblivion together. This is the alla prima method of painting. Means in one go, you know. Just kind of doing it. You can paint this way. It's an easy way to paint. That's why I do it. You see, I'm not so much interested in the painting. I'm interested in the way I feel when I paint. That's what matters to me. Very distant. We'll probably work on that some more, but I want to start working our way forward with a very similar purple. All right, so we want some shadows here. We want some shadows. Right through this dark area. Very graphic in its representation here. I just want very dynamic, light, dark areas. You know what? I want to change my brush. Change my brush now for the land. I like this guy. It's old, trusty brush. The bristles are falling off, but I love it. Ooh, that's going to be good. All right, some shadows right through there. Big one right there. Now, let's mix up some of this orange color. Some white. A little bit of orange. And some burnt umber. A little bit of red. And more orange. All right, I want a little bit of a lighter version as well, so I'm just going to add white to it. Good. All right, come through here, this darker orange, and just start thinking about different parts here, where the brush should go. Painting right now, we put this dark color in first. You got to remember that. It's very important when you paint, you put down the dark color first. There. This part's in sunlight. Nice. Now we take this lighter version. This is where we can really shape this. Just a slightly lighter version of this color. Coming down like that. Something like that. Coming down. That's great. Nice. Just a faraway butte. I want a little bit of yellow. Not much, though. More white. Just right along this darker shadow part, all the way back there. That's great. A lot of little implied things. I want the sun to be hitting something right through here, though. Right off here. In the back. Maybe just little parts here and there. All right. I'll blend these. It's pretty far away, so I kind of want these tones to be blended just slightly. And on the top part here, just blending that. Blending between these. Things aren't as prominent back here. Okay. All right. Working our way this way from the back, and then we'll do more of this foreground because this is close to us. Now, this goes down, there's this valley, and then there's this hill here, and this is in shadow from a big cloud. So it's going to be dark. And here it's going to be pretty bright. The sun's really hitting the front of these. So let's place in this purple, the dark tones all the way. You know what? Actually, let's do this next because it's a similar color to what we have over here. All right, let's just mix all these together. Purple and the blue. Perfect. All right. So coming through here, I'll scrub this in. Just a distant cliff area. Great. Very far away. We don't need to put too much detail beyond just a couple little colors back here. I want to wipe some of this off. Nice. A little bit lighter at the base, like it's misty or something. Make it seem far away. Nice. All right, this slightly lighter purple now. I want to make it a little bit brighter. Okay. Coming along the top of this. Gonna make some lines coming down. Like that. Not implying too much, just a little bit. And as it goes farther away, just a little more of that blue. Nice. Well, I love the desert. Didn't used to. Grew up here in Arizona, and for many years I didn't appreciate it. Didn't appreciate it the way I should have. All right. All right, working our way forward, I want to come through here and put some purples in. You know what? I want to do this darkest one and work back because it's easier to lighten up a color. So let's just make a dark purple here. Darkest one yet. Burnt umber, purple, just a deep one. Deep purple. More burnt umber. More purple. More blue. All right, let's try this out. Coming over here on this shadow side. Ooh, that's exactly what I want. Not too much paint at first. Just trying to get the value right in this shadow area. Man, I love this purple. Very happy about it. Scrubbing this in. All the way down. All the way down over here. Shadowy side of this guy. It's colder over there. Not in the sun. It's a nice little area to relax. Have some lemonade. There. And the top part of this guy, right up there. Just a little bit of a blend. Not too much. Not too much blending. All right, let's keep working through here. And through here. Definitely through here. But maybe something right here. We'll see. We will see. Man, I'm loving this. It's different than my normal style. But I like it. It's what I feel like doing today. I'm just following what I want to do. You know, some people might be saying, well, I didn't follow you to have you change your style here and do something different. I don't like different. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm liking this a little bit lighter, not much. Just a little bit. Blend it with that. It's easy. All right. Nice. Scrub this in. Very fun. Very, very fun. Not all the way up to the sky, leaving a little bit of that sketch showing through. A little bit lighter, not much. Do this guy. Man, this sure is fun. Sure is fun. Right through here. A little bit lighter. Nice. Now, with a little bit of a lighter color, we can come in here and do just little things here and there. Just implying a little bit of something. Don't need much. Implying something in the shadows here. Kind of lighter towards the base. All right. Nice. This is fun. This is great. But it's going to look a lot better. It's going to look a lot better. All right, let's start putting in some of this orange color, and we'll start here and kind of go our way back down this line. It's kind of fun. Okay, let's start with a kind of, I want a little bit of alizarin crimson. Great. All right, let's take some of this, add it to this. Then let's take some green. Then let's take a bunch of orange. Nice. All right. Taking this color just a little bit through here. Just the darkest tones will do, not too much. Just want to lay in some of these. Kind of paying attention to the angle of the land here with the brushwork. I like that. Let's get this darker purple. Place it right through here. Big long shadow here too. That'll be nice. And I want to make a color that's even darker, just for a couple parts. Very, very dark. Kind of a bluish color. I like that. Nice. Very fun. We'll start working on the orange more. I just want some of these areas to be a little bit darker. Okay. Now, let's do a lighter orange. All this orange and some yellow ochre and more yellow ochre. A lot of it. Nice. We need a lot of this color, don't we? Coming through here, I just want to have a little bit of some accents through here. Very good. I think I want to outline this one too with kind of a darker stroke right at the top. Then it'll be lighter as it goes down. Man, these are beautiful. They look like big cathedrals or something. Just beautiful. Nature is just incredible. All right. Okay, let's do this lighter color. Kind of through here. Nice. Can place this more on top of that. Not too much paint yet, but we are putting some paint on the canvas here. I use a lot more paint than other artists. Some use more than me, but I use more than normal. More paint. My paintings have a lot of texture. Just because that's the way I like it. When you paint, you can paint the way you want. Good. Right up to that. Shadow. Leave that little guy there. Keep working our way this way. All the way to here. Nice. And through there. Big, confident strokes. You are confident. You know what you're doing and you like it. You like this. So you can be confident as you paint. No need to be shy. Ooh, some more white added to that. And some more yellow. I just want this crazy yellow accent right here. Just want the sun to be just playing right along the top. Hitting different areas. Just there. I like that. Very good. And some red. Let's have some of this alizarin crimson, some white, have some pink areas, purpley pink. Like that. Good. All right. And more of this orange color. Great. Oh, nice. Every stroke is implying more and more detail. It's important. Okay, let's bring this way. Take that down a little bit. Wonderful. Ooh, some of this darker red again. Oh, I like that. All right, more of this orange. We'll come up here. Give some life to this side. Not too much though. This is where things are starting to go away into the shade. We need light and dark. Nice. Coming down right through there. Great. Sort of blending these, putting in this darker color here and there. All right. Very fun. Very fun. Okay, coming down, and we'll add some more highlights soon. But I want to kind of get this in here. Coming down here. All these rocks have fallen down and they're coming out away from this. Man, these mountains really spark the imagination. So unique, and there's so many unique areas in the world. That's why I love doing landscapes. I just love the different places we can see. All right. Great. A little bit of this darker red color through here. Ooh, that's a good shadowy color for down here, kind of implying some of these different areas, different colors of rocks and dirt all the way down. Good, good. All right, now working our way back. Sort of the same thing again. It's going to be a little bit lighter though, so I don't want to put as much of this dark color down. Perhaps through here we'll have it be darker. Kind of a shadowy color through this side. Some more purple to that. There we go. Nice. Great. A little bit of this. There. Okay, some of this orange. And then on top of this, put this lighter color. You know, I want to add some red to it. Make it pinker and lighter. Good, good, good. Okay. Excellent. Some more white though. Just grabbing random paint off my palette here and there, willy-nilly. Doesn't matter. Ooh, let's do this. Let's add some purple to this. Some yellow ochre. All right, just kind of putting this in. We'll come in with some lighter tones in a minute. I want to take away some of this purple, reshape this a little bit. There. Bring that down all the way through here. Right on down. Okay. Now, ooh, this lighter orange that I liked. There. Let's come up here with this. Kind of place them right there. Right on the top. And then coming down here. Just some ridges and things happening. Farther away. Great. A little bit more of that orange coming through. Not too much. And some through here. Great. Now through here, I want it even more grayed out. Just a little bit of blue to it. This is going away. A little bit of that color there. A little bit of white. And it's just going back into the distance. Very far away. Great. Let's have some lighter colors. With some orange right here to highlight this ridge. A little bit brighter even. Good, good. I want some more white on my palette. Man, I keep going through this. I'm going to do a whole tube today on this painting. These big clouds took up a lot of this white paint. Great. Take some of this. We'll use this for some highlights. With some orange. Not too much of this, though. Not too much. These highlights come last. They come last in an area. All right. Man, this is fun. I love the desert. It's fantastic. A little bit of yellow ochre. Have a different flavor here. A lot more of that. And some more orange. Good, good, good. Building this up, kind of like real rocks down here. Real little areas. Lots of different marks. Wonderful. Oh, it's so fun to have the different marks kind of lay on top of each other and just kind of create different effects. It's very fun. Just with one brush. I'm not really changing brushes here. Most artists do. That's not what I like to do, though. I like to have it easier. All right. Excellent. Working back. Now we can start working down even farther here. So for this area, I want to get some shadows in, and then this area is going to be pretty bright. So let's get those shadows in now. This is going to be purple. Purple time. Burnt umber, purple. More burnt umber. They're closer to us, so they can be darker. That's okay. That's what we want. Okay. Let's place in a pretty dark shadow right through here. Don't need too much. Okay, and through here. And let's bring that all the way back. All right. There's going to be a little ridge right here. And then left a little bit there. I'm just going to scrub this a little bit. Try to get a feel for where the land's going. Nice. I need a lot of white. Then I need some yellow ochre. White and yellow ochre. All right, coming down here at the base. Something about like that. Nice. Very good. A little bit of this lighter white and yellow. Kind of go back and forth. The sun's really hitting this area. There's a lot of desert between us and this mountain here. This butte. Great. You know, painting can make us happy. I've said some days I'm not happy, and I step in front of the canvas, and painting changes my headspace. Makes me think clearer. Makes me appreciate my life. Makes me see things clearer the next day. Oh, I want to have some land back here first. Let's get some of this blue color. We'll just darken it up a little bit. Prussian and that. Pretty far away. Nice. So we'll come up here, and this blue back here. It's a long, big shadow. Extra dark, but it's a lot closer than these ridges way back there. There. Kind of all through here. I like this. Good blue color. A lighter blue, mixture of these, some purple. Kind of go between these, some more purple. Like that. Some green. A little bit of white. Keep changing my mind. That's okay. I'm having a lot of fun with this one today. This is a different experience for me, slightly different style, but it's what I want to do, and it's fun. Big shadow coming across here. Big one. Far away, so it looks like a big stripe. I love light and shadow. Makes paintings interesting when you have different kinds of shadows going on. Be bold with it. Nature does all sorts of weird things. You can do whatever you want. You really can. Whatever you want to do. If you can imagine it, the sort of lighting that you want, it's probably existed somewhere in nature. Probably has. All right. All right, more of these lighter colors. Thinking about how the land is coming down here and coming through here. That's going to be very bright, but we're just putting in this darker tone first. There, land comes down like that. Just using all sorts of sides of this brush, whatever I feel like in the moment. Whatever I want to do. Nice. That's okay. I think this is our 6th episode now. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. I feel like I just started doing these. Some more white. Have some really bright areas, some more yellow. White and yellow. Good. Great. And we'll have this be back here. Kind of lighter areas. Very, very far away. Where the sun's hitting. Looks a lot like that underpainting. I did a slightly less saturated underpainting today. I just wanted to do that with this painting. Blending these, because this is far away. All right. Coming this way, we'll put in some more of these bright spots. Coming down. Coming down. Got to do the right angles. Comes down that way now. Got to do the right, and then this one's come this way. That's good. Now, it may look like I'm just doing random brush strokes, and you're thinking, hey, this guy, he's just doing a bunch of random brush strokes. Well, I got to tell you, got to be honest. If you want to paint this way and do it well and be happy with it, you probably have to be very good at sketching. You probably have to be able to imagine things and just make it happen. And that's a skill that is usually something that comes with a lot of practice. A lot of hours of just drawing by yourself. Painting is a lot like drawing. Very similar. Very similar process. But we're using all these colors. And I love the three-dimensionality of it. So I use that. Going to try to use what paint can do. And isn't it amazing that with these same oil paints, an artist can spend years and make something that looks completely photorealistic? It's incredible what can be done. And I have a lot of respect for these artists that are able to sit there for hours and do that. But just because our paintings don't look completely realistic doesn't mean they're not any good. You know? Your paintings are great. And this painting's great, even if it doesn't look totally realistic. Ooh, I want to put some orange through here. Just kind of have that color continue. Just some through here. Nice. All right. Just some areas that can really just pop where the sun's hitting it. Look at this. All through here, coming down. Oh, this is just fun. Just delightful. All right. Let's make it brighter through here. These big paintings are fun. A lot of times when I have a bigger canvas, I just get more impressionistic, big strokes. But then far away across the room, it can look fun. Little surprises as you come closer. You say, "Ooh, look at that! Look at that! Ooh, let's put some of this here." Just show off this orange that we used up there and just say, "Hey, we used that. We used that color. That's okay." All right. Why? I don't know. I don't know why. Nice. Implying some sort of sense of depth here. Distance. Some depth and distance. Tone down that orange just a little bit. Going back on myself here. But I still like it. Okay. Now working down, I want to get a lot darker. There's this valley and then it comes up. So, I think I want to start on this side with some burnt umber. You know what? I need to clean off my palette again. Move this away. All right, using quite a few different colors. Let's start with the alizarin crimson. Let's try this. And some orange. And some red. All right, coming through here. I want to have different areas where the ground is pretty dark. And some lighter areas as well, but mostly I want to get some of this dark in. Let's put some through here. Shadow side of a little part coming up here. Maybe some through here. And kind of right up here. This is closer to us, and it's in shadow. So the shadows aren't purple. Kind of just a dark, earthy color. Kind of along this area. There. Through there. Some orange. Let's express a little bit of orange. Ooh, I like that orange. Let's kind of rub that in. We're gonna have a bunch of bushes through here, and some greenery. Kind of bluish grass, bush color. some red. There. All right. Now we'll have a dark, kind of bluish green. And I don't want it too dark. Not too dark. Not too green. Almost like a viridian. That's a pretty color. All right. Deep bush color through here. Just putting in shadows where these bushes are going to be. We don't have to stick with the sketch. Just put them on anywhere we want. Here and there. Good. I want this area to be a lot darker than the rest of the painting to imply that it's close to us. Right there in the corner. Nice. Through here. Little bushes right on this ridge. It's going to do them dark. Good, good. Fun. Just making little marks that can become things in our eyes as we step back. Little ideas. Okay. A bunch of little marks that I can put highlights on later. Bushes. Prickly, scratchy desert bushes. I have a lot of experience with those growing up here in Arizona. Fell down on a cactus once on a hike and got cactus needles all through my hand. Gotta be careful. I learned that day, don't run downhill when you're hiking. You might be excited to get to the end, but don't do it. All right. All through here. Man, I want to get out into the desert. Arizona's been so hot, I haven't been able to paint plein air around here. 115 degrees. I'm sorry, I'm not that brave. Van Gogh might have been, but not me. Maybe even him. I don't know. But, yeah. All right. Let's work in some bush colors, some brighter green, and we'll just add white to this. Just add white, because these bushes are this kind of weird color in the desert. And you'll kind of see here, kind of this bluish green color, kind of pale and dry. A lot of times people say, don't brighten up green with white. Well, I can if my painting needs that color. We don't need to have rules, guys. Do what you need to do for your painting. Just paint. There's a lot of good stuff to learn, though. A lot of good techniques and a lot of good art principles. You can learn to have a very clean palette, unlike this one. Whatever works for you. Do you want to be organized when you paint? Then be organized. Do what you need to do. That's part of being an artist, to discover your working method. What really works for you. Every artist can do that. Sort of find their way. Let's mix up some more of this. Green, blue, some of this burnt umber, some of that. Then some white. There. Okay. Pretty color. Pretty color. Nice. A lot of different bushes through here. Lighter parts, darker parts. We don't know. Just implying some things. No detail. Kind of farther away here, maybe this ridge. There's some plant life. Maybe a little bush or two. There. All right. More of this darker color. Ooh, and some yellow ochre. I just love yellow ochre. Beautiful. All right. Nice. Dark brown. And all these areas we haven't hit. Just kind of hit these spots you haven't got to yet. Fill them in. Good, good, good. Through here. And through here. When we're all done, this will look so fun. Look like a little imaginative view of the Southwest. Just celebrating nature, appreciating it, saying, hey, nature, I care. I love you. Look, I painted you a self-portrait. Well, thank you. Thanks for the painting. I like it. Thanks, yeah. Nature loves being appreciated. Nature's a little vain. It wants us to look out on it. It really rewards us when we do that. When we appreciate nature, nature loves us even more. Sends opportunities our way. If you like to paint, nature will give you some paints. Fall into your lap. Things will just start working for you when you celebrate nature, when you love it. When you appreciate what we have. That's what I've learned. When I appreciate what I have, I get more of it. When I complain and when I don't like my life, things just get worse and worse and worse and worse. We don't need that. Put some yellow in there. This will be fun. Kind of bring it through here. Really just have some more dirt, less bushes on this side. It'll be more varied, a bit different. Good. All the way to the bottom. I want the bottom nice and dark. Burnt sienna. I need some burnt umber, some more. There we go. Man, burnt umber and white on this painting. Those were the stars. And that orange, of course. Couldn't have done it without you, orange. We appreciate you. We sure do. All right. Darker. Nice. Even more burnt umber. Let's just make it even darker. There we go. Darken some of these areas up. It's just a strip of shadow from a cloud. Very fun. Wherever I'm seeing canvas right now, I'm just making it darker. Thinking about some areas, thinking, oh, maybe there's a bush there, maybe not. Sometimes to paint this way, you have to think a little bit more broadly. You're thinking about what you're painting, but you're also thinking about the composition overall, not each little bush. Does that bush work next to the other one? Is it working as a whole? And that's what matters most. There can be nice little moments in a painting, but when the whole thing is a cohesive statement in terms of style, etc., it becomes pleasant. It's nice to look at when there's some method that's been applied. We'll take this green, some white, kind of make a lighter green. I like that. Right along here. There. I'm looking all around. I'm not just looking at the spot I'm painting. Kind of absorbing the whole painting as I go. So if you want to do a style like this, remember, that's kind of important to just keep in mind what's going on all over the place. And if you're the kind of person who loves that, to just multitask like that, then this kind of style could be for you. Very fun, energetic way of painting. Some brighter green. Not much. Really globbing it on here at the base. You can do that, especially things close up. It almost makes it seem closer when there's more texture. Putting in these bushes, highlights. There. Through here. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. Just changing things as we go, reimagining different parts. And some bushes through here. All right. A few more dark areas. Gonna richen this up here and there. Some darker areas. Right up close to us. Really make it feel even darker. Under some of these bushes, just some deep shadows. These are always fun. Ooh, right there in the corner. Even darker. And over here. Great. Just a few little guys through here, implying some more movement in this area. And some things right through here. And with that, I am very happy, and I think we might have a finished painting. So, I've been filming these every week. Stay tuned. Full episodes on YouTube. And be along for this journey with me as I paint a big painting every week in front of the camera. Thank you so much. What a fun experience. What a fun, imaginative, decorative, joyful expression of nature. Thank you for being here with me today, and I'll see you guys next time.